Major studios are gearing up with some of their most ambitious projects yet, aiming to deliver standout experiences across multiple genres. From bold new IPs to long-awaited sequels, expectations around these titles are already running high. Let's get into it. OD is a first-person psychological horror game designed to test how players react to fear through cinematic and interactive scenes. Gameplay takes place in tight environments, including a single-room scenario shown in early footage where players interact with objects and perform actions like candle rituals while responding to unsettling knocking sounds. Built in Unreal Engine 5 with meta-human technology, the game delivers highly realistic character performances while using cloud support to help power its structure. Project Windless is a single-player, open-world action RPG set in a fantasy world inspired by the bird that drinks tears. Players control a recon warrior in large real-time battles that emphasize fast, skill-based melee combat similar to Black Myth, Wukong, and Dynasty Warriors. The game includes 4 races: Toab, humans, Naga, and Recon, within a non-linear structure that supports player freedom and roaming across a war-torn setting. It is being developed in Unreal Engine 5.
This world was never yours to keep. How dare you stand in the way of purity, little king?
007 First Light is an espionage action-adventure game that tells an origin story of a young James Bond during his early time in MI6 training. Gameplay combines stealth, hand-to-hand combat, gunplay, and gadget use, allowing missions to be completed quietly or with direct force. Players take on global assignments, drive vehicles, and work through story-driven objectives while tracking a rogue agent. Missions can also be replayed with added modifiers to test different strategies.
Sometimes asked, Bothma, how is it that you hear every whisper in every corner of Aleph? And I answer, I built Aleph with my will, my blood, self. This city is an extension of my being, my body. Today, it became infected. And as we all know, if an infection is left untreated, the body can become rotten, sicken, and die. That infection? Greed. In Bakar Ali, once so loyal, greed grew unchecked, becoming a cancer. A cancer that threatened to weaken Aleph, endangering all of us, everything we have built. However, cancer, if caught early, can be cured. Or in our case, cut out and served on a planet. Easy, girls. Plenty of meat for everyone.
Girls. Of course.
Our old friend was just the appetizer. Did you really believe you could come here and poison Aleph's well of trust? I think not. Now, you die.
Black Myth: Zhong is a single-player action role-playing game inspired by the legendary ghost hunter from Chinese folklore. Gameplay centers on melee combat against demons and supernatural enemies, continuing the challenging action style associated with the Black Myth series. Players control Zhong as he moves between Hell and Earth while completing combat-driven encounters. The project represents the second entry in the series and is being developed by Game Science. The Witcher 4 is an action role-playing game where players control Ciri in a large open-world version of the continent set after the events of The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. Gameplay revolves around monster hunting, sword combat, magic abilities, and character progression while completing main and side quests across new regions such as Kovir. Players travel on foot or summon Ciri's horse Kelpie at will, with the design supporting flexible builds and player-driven narrative decisions.
Even Art of Gold. You've the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling. Sweden. Today's the day. Ye fill out your destiny. Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
A witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods!
No! You chose her. Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself! Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
She were to go to the woods. The chosen one. His tradition.
Oh no, no, no.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Ill is a first-person action horror game set inside a dark research fort overrun by a mysterious entity and hostile aberrations. Gameplay combines shooting, melee combat, and puzzle interaction, with a detailed dismemberment system and physics-driven environments that affect enemy behavior. Players must manage inventory, craft items, and maintain their weapons while navigating unpredictable encounters. Binaural audio and realistic animations are used to heighten tension during close-range survival scenarios.
listen to me.
Silent Hill Townfall is a first-person psychological horror game set in the fog-covered town of St. Amelia, where players control Simon Ordell as he investigates his connection to the island. Gameplay combines tense evasion, limited combat, and narrative-driven puzzles while managing scarce tools and weapons. A key mechanic is the portable CRTV device, which detects unstable signals and nearby threats. The design emphasizes careful movement, resource use, and environmental problem-solving.
I woke up in the water again. But this time it's different. I keep trying to fix what happened. But no matter what I do,
You can't fix it. It doesn't let us change things. You did what you did.
"14 Years of Flames" is a story-driven first-person shooter set during the Second Sino-Japanese War from 1931 to 1945. Players take control of 7 different characters across 16 historical battles, moving from northeast China to Nanjing. The gameplay recreates real weapons, vehicles, and military equipment with detailed accuracy, while missions depict large-scale warfare and frontline combat. Each campaign scenario reflects documented events and places players within key moments of the 14-year conflict.
"我们的追求一致，过上舒服的生活，不是吗？康康们的如今的繁荣与进步，我们的都是亚细亚同胞兄弟，共保和平，才能共荣大东亚。周队长已经加入了我们，赵兄弟要是不嫌弃，就请来担任皇协军队长。今天晚上，我们得先去喝2杯，然后再……
哭了！
Control Resonant is an action RPG set in a distorted Manhattan where players control Dylan Faden during a paranatural crisis. Gameplay combines melee combat, elemental abilities, and environmental interaction, as Dylan uses a shape-shifting weapon called the Aberrant, which can change forms during battle. Players progress through multiple city zones altered by gravity shifts and hostile forces, while upgrading powers and making choices that influence how abilities develop across story-driven missions.
I'm Mikael Kasurinen, and I'm the creative director of Control Resonant, the game-changing sequel to Control. What you are seeing here is an early mission captured from our in-development build. We play as Dylan Faden, our supernaturally gifted hero, in a version of Manhattan like you haven't seen before. We recently acquired Shift, an ability that empowers Dylan to seamlessly move through gravity anomalies and adapt to the world around him. Here we are showcasing a set of different forms of Dylan's main weapon, the Aberrant, can take, and his supernatural abilities. There are a lot of different ones you can discover to suit your playstyle. While in combat, we encourage you to play aggressively, balancing between melee attacks and abilities.
Any updates for me?
Kind of. You'll know it when you hear it. Just try to stay alive out there, okay?
Almost there, Zoe. What the hell is that thing? I hear something. I know where the Resonant is, Zoe. I'll call you back.
Resonants are the dominant threat in what's our most ambitious game to date, and we can't wait to share it with you later in 2026.
Untitled John Wick game is a single-player third-person action title built around a gun-fu combat system that combines precise shooting, close-quarters martial arts, and fluid movement. Players take control of John Wick in an original story set within the film timeline, encountering familiar and new characters across multiple locations. Gameplay includes choreographed combat encounters, interactive environments, and driving sequences designed to reflect the series' cinematic style, with combat built around efficiency, timing, and controlled aggression.
Capable, adaptable. He must be grounded, stable, constant. I believe you are ready, sir.
Yeah.
Gang of Dragon is an action-adventure game set in Kabukicho, Shinjuku, where players control Shin Ji-song, a high-ranking member of a Korean crime syndicate portrayed by Ma Dong-seok. Gameplay takes place from a third-person perspective and features close-quarters combat built around heavy, hand-to-hand strikes, blade attacks, firearms, and vehicle sequences across city streets. The story explores underworld power struggles and personal conflicts, with missions unfolding through character-driven drama and confrontations within Tokyo's nightlife district.
Shinji-song, yeah? Time to settle up.
Hey, Daiki, when'd you make it back?
Excuse me, sir. Shut your mouth.
All right. Talk soon.
On your feet, now. Son of a... Fuck it! Just kill him!
One of the biggest fears of an astronaut doing extravehicular activity, or EVA, is somehow becoming detached.
The Expanse Osiris Reborn is a third-person action RPG set in the 24th century solar system, where players control a customizable pink-water security mercenary caught in a system-wide crisis. Combat uses cover-based shooting and abilities, with 2 companions active in the field while others provide remote support. Players command a ship, manage crew relationships, and make decisions that affect alliances and outcomes. Locations include Eros, Ganymede, Ceres, Mars, and Luna, each featuring mission-based exploration and dialogue-driven interactions.
In a reactive game, that would be too clumsy, and so Mag Boots is a creative way to kind of compromise and keep it realistic, but also be able to be reactive. But the fear is the same, becoming detached somehow and drifting away. And that's just one example. Even firearms would behave differently in space. Recoil and ballistics would also be different. People think about space as silent, but silence can mean danger. For example, inside of the spacesuit, there's a steady hum of the fan that's blowing oxygen over your face. The people at Alcat Games did some research and figured out that vibrations caused by shots inside of a vehicle would translate to the hull and likely be felt through the mag boots.
We love the idea, but have to adapt it. Pre-realism would mean almost no sound in combat. No vacuum, you feel more than Osiris do, but far less than in atmosphere. What you hear is what your character feels. Breath, comes, vibrations. The tension stays, and so does the fear.
The mission crews train for months, even years together. The commander is chosen first and sets the tone. Just like in the game, trust takes time and shared experience.
The ship is crew's home. To craft the right atmosphere, we focus on the smallest of details. Life in space changes tastes. Astronauts often crave spices just to feel such sensations again. On pink water meals created from what could actually be grown in orbit. And in the same spirit, you'll even hear your companions discussing food and ingredients on the ship. We hope that our approach to blending realism with gameplay considerations will make players experience something engaging and truly immersive.
What a sight to behold.
Ace Combat 8 Wings of Theve is a flight action game centered on fast-paced aerial combat and story-driven military missions. Players pilot advanced fighter jets, engage enemy aircraft in large-scale dogfights, and deploy missiles and special weapons against air and ground targets. The campaign features squad coordination, high-risk operations, and decision-based story moments presented through interactive first-person scenes. Online modes include competitive PvP, cooperative missions, and cross-platform multiplayer support.
Mass delusion fabricated by the rumor mill of social media.
Radar contact. We think it's the shadows.
Our lone target is Wings.
All dogs fire. Time to pull out. 22.
Roger that.
God damn it.
Start swimming, soldier. Make it home alive.
Let's keep at it, Rex.
Ray, heads up!
On your orders, Rex.
To keep hope alive, Wings of Theve must stay on the mission. Must fly on.
I can make up your kill count to be whatever.
Right. From now on, you'll be the greatest ace pilot this war will ever know.
Defect is a cyberpunk first-person shooter built around tactical SWAT-style operations in a city controlled by an authoritarian AI known as the System. Players can choose different factions including enforcement units or criminal groups and complete dynamic objectives such as arrests, assassinations, or smuggling. The game supports single-player, cooperative PvE missions and a quad-squad PvP mode where squads compete across shifting multi-objective battles using advanced weapons and technology. Woochi the Wayfarer is a single-player, third-person action-adventure set in a dark fantasy version of Korea's Joseon era. Players control Jeon Woochi, a dosa who uses magical abilities in fast-paced combat against creatures inspired by Korean mythology. The gameplay combines melee attacks and spell-based skills while progressing through a story drawn from the tale of Jeon Woochi. Built in Unreal Engine 5, the game presents detailed environments and cinematic presentation across its missions.
기어코 여기까지. 참으로 정성이십니다.
Hate me. Your fate is mine.
Diablo IV is an action role-playing game set in Sanctuary, where players battle demonic forces led by Lilith. It features 5 classes: Barbarian, Sorceress, Rogue, Druid, and Necromancer, each with distinct skill trees and build options. Gameplay combines dungeon crawling, open-world regions, cooperative multiplayer, and PvP zones, alongside deep itemization and character customization. Players unlock abilities through a structured skill tree and pursue endgame activities focused on loot progression and increasingly difficult challenges.
is no longer coming. Hell is already here.
The hideout is on fire.
The Godslayer is an open-world RPG set in an Eastern-inspired steampunk capital where Celestials rule over humanity. Players control Cheng, an Elemancer who wields elemental powers drawn from Chi, including fire, water, earth, metal, and wood, with combat built around dynamic interactions between these elements. Progression involves learning new skills from scrolls and masters, refining abilities, and navigating factions such as the Starfall Society while preparing to confront the ruling deities.
Easy for you to say. Now, how do I get past all the soldiers?
What happened? Then again, is it?
And he tells me not to do anything rash.
Mind your business. Damn it!
What? There you go.
Damn! Stop right there! Where did he go? It's you! He's up there!
Whoa, too many.
Stop! There he is! Nowhere to run down! Move! Have a taste of my ass! No! Put it out! Put it out!
Cool off, you lot. Gonna be cold.
What's going on here?
Here we are.
Fodder, fools, humans. Which is next?
That must be Master.
Go! Head for the signal.
New Virtua Fighter Project is a 3D fighting game developed by Ryu Ga Gotoku Studio and Sega, aiming to modernize the series with a faster yet tactical combat system. It introduces mechanics such as break and rush for accumulating damage, and stunner systems that enable extended combos. The design focuses on accessibility while maintaining depth, potentially updating the traditional control scheme and defensive movement. The roster includes returning fighters like Akira alongside newly introduced characters. Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy is a narrative-driven action-adventure and stealth game set 15 years before A Plague Tale Requiem. Players control Sophia as she travels to Minotaur's Island to uncover secrets tied to the macula. Gameplay combines melee combat with parries and strikes, stealth navigation, and puzzle solving using a Minoan sphere that manipulates light. The story shifts between medieval and ancient timelines while expanding the series' lore through a character-focused perspective. Onimusha Way of the Sword is an action game set in Edo-era Kyoto, where players control a samurai wielding the Oni gauntlet against demonic Genma. Combat centers on precise swordplay across close-quarters encounters in environments altered by malice. Players move through interconnected stages filled with enemy ambushes and narrative-driven events. The gauntlet grants supernatural abilities used to defeat underworld creatures while uncovering the samurai's purpose.
Stay on your right. That's an Oni gauntlet.
Musashi! Gun me! This thing's made me so damn strong.
Musashi, I cannot apologize enough for dragging you down this path against your will.
If I take this gauntlet off, I'll be a bloody mess on the floor anyway.
This isn't what you promised, Gauntlet.
My troop was attacked, and one of our members is missing. Save this world.
Fighting Genma wasn't the path I'd planned, But who knows? Maybe it'll be worth my while.
Well said!
What in the... Get a hold of yourself! Are you a man or a beast? Getting strong because of some gauntlet. That's not strength.
I'm gonna eat all the souls you got in there.
Turns out, Miyamoto Musashi was just a brute with a sword after all.
Being tough isn't enough. A warrior meditates on what strength really means. Enjoying your new toys, I see.
Guardian!
Hey, Musashi!
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet is an action-adventure game set thousands of years in the future, where players control bounty hunter Jordan A. Munn, stranded on the isolated planet Semperia. Gameplay combines third-person combat and traversal as Jordan confronts hostile blade-wielding robots while searching for the Five Aces Syndicate. The narrative explores a fictional religion shaped by centuries of history, with a focus on solitude and survival, without companion support during planetary exploration.
Jordan? Tell me something good.
Well, you're right, it checks out. He's hiding out around the Superior Moon.
Excellent.
How is that excellent? He's next to fucking Semperia. No one has left that planet in over 600 years. Anyone who even flies close to it is never heard from again.
Superstitions.
No. Superstitions are the crazy rumors about what happened on that planet. These are facts.
You worry too much.
You know what I worry just right about? I say we wait for him to leave, or how about we find a new lead? He's not worth it. I'm wasting my time, aren't I?
Can you please claim him? I don't need another hunter swooping in.
Who is swooping? No one is crazy enough to go there.
He clearly is.
He is clearly desperate.
And so am I, so claim him, or I will find another agent.
That's with all your fucking shit. Okay, alright, you know what? There, you're the boss.
Thank you.
Listen, kid. I'll see you on the other side.